What are you doing? Right now I'm pasting the link into Discord so that so that people know to come. Well, Hanio, so that Hanio knows to come. By the way, if you want a link to the Discord, I think I linked it the other day, but invite people, copy. It's there. You can get assigned the role notifications, so you get a ping on Discord whenever. And yeah, today I am going to do what the title says. I'm going to collect my thoughts, ideas, and prioritizing, because I feel like I am a little bit too whatever. Lol, yeah, hi, but to be fair, it works well. What do you mean? The hi? That thing above. It worked. I was quiet and I got asked that. I don't need to reload. Oh, okay. Yeah, the Discord thing. Yeah, it works as well. So yeah, basically that's what I wanted to do. Collect my thoughts, ideas, etc. So first, in my mind, right? What's in my mind? We can start like that. So let's say collecting my thoughts, ideas, and prioritizing, live stream, and let's say in my mind. So 1, 2, 3, in my mind, or on my mind, on my mind, on my mind, or top of mind, top of my mind. Let's say the game, right? What the game that I talked about the other day, game. Let's call it like Twine game. Another thing, play game, right? Playing Driver SF, Driver San Francisco. Another thing, yeah, have fun. I'm having a really bad cold right now, so I'm just going to lay down and rest. Okay, get well soon. You were from Vietnam, right? Oh, what temperature is Vietnam at right now? Hanoi, let's say Hanoi, Vietnam, weather. 28 degrees, but it's night time, 32, 28. Interesting temperature for a cold. I mean, I would guess that if there is like air conditioning all the time. Wait, where are you from? The south? I don't know. I forgot. If there's air conditioning all the time, I would probably get colds all the time as well. Like if you are coming in and out, and outside is super hot, and inside it's like cold as fuck. Yeah, it's raining pretty heavy in my city, and my body is pretty weak. Get better. I have a headache, so maybe today just isn't the day. Lol. Lol. Here we have a heat wave. Madrid. Tiempo. Well, this is the city. My town is not as hot, but it is pretty hot. And tomorrow it's hotter, plus tomorrow is sunny. Today at least it's cloudy, so apparently all of next week. And yeah, basically my priorities. Back to my priorities, or my thoughts, etc. playing Driver San Francisco. That was one thing that I wanted to do. The other thing was like ordering my room, etc. Like tidying my room up. The weather sucks in every country. I don't mind it being hot because my room is actually not that hot. But at night time, and I can sleep at night time. But yeah, before sleeping, I do notice that I get very sweaty, like my legs get sweaty and all this. And right now, my friends don't play video games anymore. So we don't play together as often. So I don't notice it as much, right? My PC is not like working too hard or whatever, but that is one thing against playing Driver San Francisco. That usually I have my PC on and my PlayStation on. So those are like two heating devices. Here it's currently 26, but as long as I don't need to go out, it's fine. Tomorrow I have work again, so I hope it will get a bit colder. Let's see. Tomorrow is Friday, right? Today is Thursday. I think today after stream I'm going to wait. Let's look something up. Punto limpio. Okay, I'm looking up. Fuck yeah! There is this thing in my town or whatever. This fucking place where you can take out old electronics, right? It's a place, but it only opens in the mornings, and morning meaning closing at 1 p.m. And it's like most days. Well, I am awake at 1 p.m., but I wake up at like 12:30, so I can't go at fucking throwing that shit inside and all that, right? I don't know. So maybe one of these days I will wake up sooner. Maybe tomorrow I will wake up sooner if I. Doesn't have like, because Google Maps is worse than this. Okay. 1 p.m. That place also closes at 1 p.m. So yeah, I guess going out in the morning would be like the good idea. Okay. Tidying my room up. Okay, let's put that also here. So throwing the fucking old electronics. And by the way, this is the bag of old electronics. It's a pretty big bag. I'm not going to take them out one by one, but yeah. I took pictures of every old electronic to, I don't know, if in case I want to remember one of them so that I have them. I don't know where the pictures are though. I think in the camera. I don't know. Maybe I photo dumped them somewhere. More things. Okay, that plus picking up whatever. Because I also have to pick up something. Like some clothes that, well, not clothes. Yeah, like a coat that is in the dry cleaning. Picking up dry cleaning. And I think there were other things that I was thinking I should do this blah 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 before blah blah blah, right? Before August or something like this. Before I'm busy or something like this. I don't think reading or anything like this would be a super priority, to be honest. I don't know, maybe the process of tidying stuff up would give me ideas on what I should prioritize or something like this. Okay, now, not top of mind. Okay, I did want to do something like collect live stream ideas or something like this, right? Live stream ideas. I would like to at least have some idea on what to do on the stream, right? Because, for example, yesterday the idea was pretty lame. Basically, it was just being at the pool, but at least I had a couple of thoughts, so it wasn't that bad in the end. But the day before, I did have like this kind of talking about some things, blah blah blah, right? And I prefer when I have something in, like at least something that I want to talk about, right? And I have no shortage of these things, to be honest, right? I have a lot of ideas that I want to talk about, but I don't know. Maybe live stream doesn't feel like the right thing to do, etc. Then not top of mind. YouTube videos ideas. I do have something like reviewing my videos and all this, right? Reviewing my videos, maybe kind of writing something about the 100 videos thing. I mean, it's your stream, so you can do whatever you want, IMO. If you don't feel like talking about something and rather watch some stuff or go in researching some random topic, then that's fine too. True, I guess. But also, like researching some topic or something, that counts as an idea, right? So if I have it beforehand, I feel like it's not that bad. But sometimes it feels like too lazy. I don't know. I don't want to be super lazy, right? I don't know. Because, like, what is the purpose of streaming for me, right? That is a good question, to be honest. Because I feel like at this point, 175 days in, I think it says here, 176, 177 days in, it's more or less routine, right? So I don't want to be too caught up in routine. I don't want to get to a place where routine limits me. And I feel already a little bit limited by routine, right? That's why I want to come back to the reason why I started streaming, right? Which was that my videos were getting too long, right? My videos were getting too long, so I want to stream. So I thought streaming was a better idea, right? But for those videos, I had an idea, right? I had the ideas. I could also like review published videos, right? Review published videos that were that like half published videos, like uploaded videos that never made it. I could do that kind of thing, and half a year later, maybe it's a good time. I don't know. Didn't you start streaming just like a video diary? Not exactly. It was more like... It was not like a diary, as in I will do this every day to tell my thoughts every day, right? It was because I was making already videos, right? Not every day, just whenever I wanted. And they were too long. So I thought, fuck it, this would be better as a stream, right? Because they are kind of talking, derailing, getting derailed a little bit, right? Looking at browser windows, that kind of stuff. And I thought that fit better the stream format. And then, because I was like, this should have been a stream, like past. Now in the present, it's like, so, okay, so how do you stream? And it's like, you cannot, I mean, you can, I guess, but streaming makes sense if you do it regularly, right? It's not. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe that was kind of my idea. But in my mind, since I made 100 videos, right? I was like, fuck it, let's make 100 streams. So, I don't know. Getting into that wave of streaming every day was like, I don't know, seemed like the thing to do. It was not a video diary as in, dear diary, today I blah, 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 right? It was not like that. Although the component of like getting in front of the camera every day and like the little variations that happen, I guess, that is a nice, maybe that was kind of a nice thing or something like this, right? But yeah, I want to collect live stream ideas in the same sense that I wanted, like in the same sense that I had video ideas before, right? So to start the stream with a topic I want to talk about, and if I get derailed, it doesn't matter, or something like this, right? It's like, I don't know, today I read a passage of the book. I'm going to show it again. Of the book, and the passage says something like, it's about seeds. It's called Seeds, or something like this. Experimentation. We have collected a handful of... Okay, the seeds section was before. We have collected a handful of seeds, of starting points and potentialities. We now enter the second stage, the experimentation phase, right? So yeah, the point of the stream was kind of the experimentation of the seed. And now I want seeds, right? And to me, like the process of talking it through on a stream, like that was what I liked more. That was the part that I liked of my videos before, but that I also felt like didn't fit the video format that well, because as a video, it was not boring. Boring. It was boring, basically. And it fit more the stream thing, right? If you are kind of... if I don't have the script already written, like well laid out on all of this, and the point of the stream is to like write the script, right? Not write, but to see what comes to mind, then I feel like stream is better. because yeah, I don't know why, but that feels like that, right? Like it could be like a video diary of, or like documenting the idea generation or like the experimentation process, but it could be a video, but it feels more at home on stream. And I don't know, I also feel like having you, the chat, or something like this, it helps, right? It's, I guess, my way of doing it, yeah, of like collaborating or something like this, right? Some people, it's like get in the studio together and start bouncing off ideas or something like this. I don't have those kind of people or whatever, or that kind of studio environment, right? I am not a musician, so and yeah, something about the 100 videos thing is kind of on my backlog. Then I have like, do I help though? I feel like I don't give a lot of valuable input. Lol. I don't know. I think you help. It's like better than just doing the video and getting zero comments, right? If I were to upload a 1 hour long video and upload it, for example, collecting my thoughts, etc., I don't stream. I just record it. I start saying these things out loud, and then I upload the video. Like those videos barely get any clicks or anything like this, right? So I wouldn't even know anything, right? So yeah, it's much better to have like one person. That's fair, I guess. And I also have like other things top of mind, I guess. But okay, let's elaborate a little bit on what twine game means. For example, something that I want to do on the twine game is, I guess, because I don't know, I want to, whatever the mechanics, right? To find good mechanics. The problem with this is that it's difficult to think of good mechanics, right? It's like, I want to find good, like, I don't know, how are these kind of RPG games that where you fight called? Like these kind of combat games that are in third person or whatever, right? Like Elden Ring. How it's like, what genre is Elden Ring? It's like, I want to find good mechanics for Elden Ring, right? If you were an Elden Ring developer, it's like you can't think of good like the thing to do then is like to play test, right? To play test the fucking game and to see, okay, when I parry, like the parry reaction time is a little bit too slow, so it's not satisfying, right? Those kind of things. And those things can only be done when you have like the fucking little character that parries and that rolls around and that attacks, right? And the problem with these kind of twine games is that they are story driven and also kind of point and click driven, right? So it's hard to think of mechanics without having the story, right? Because the story is kind of what makes you want to keep clicking. But also the clicking part tells the story in a way. in the same way that I mentioned with the before with the depression game, right? In the depression game, the things that you cannot click tell you something about the state of the game, right? So that is a mechanic, but also it depends a lot on the story, right? So it's hard for me to find good mechanics without having the story, right? Hard without having the story, I guess. Well, to be fair, Elden Ring mechanics is basically a more polished Dark Souls 3. See, yeah, basically. But yeah, you have to have, like, you had to have Dark Souls 3 then, and then you had to polish it, right? It's like you cannot think through making Dark Souls better. I mean, on a sense you can, in a sense you can, but it comes out of having played it, right? Once you have played Dark Souls 3, you can be like, the fucking parrying was too bad. And you can make a list and think about it without actually playing it. And then you can try to, but the process of, and that would be the finding good mechanics part, I guess. But when you have like the base, and right now, I guess I could be like, okay, this game that I have played has good mechanics, this one has not. Okay, that could be a good idea. Okay, good. Play reference games to see what mechanics I like. That could be a thing. The problem is that I don't like to play these games a lot, right? Because they are, not all of them, but, and I guess that the reason I don't like to play these games a lot is because sometimes the mechanics are kind of bad, right? They are like too grindy. Like the progression is too slow, and it's a game I've already played, or they are like too story driven, so it doesn't make sense for me to replay them because I already know what happens. I don't know. It's hard to say. I don't know. Maybe I could play it. I could try to play some games or something. Or maybe try to play other Twine games that are not safe for work or something like this, right? Play. I don't know. I played a game that was like from a video. I think I watched it on stream. Did I play it on stream? Twine game of the world. This one. Maybe Edna and Harvey could be something to look at. Let's see. German adventure game. 90%. I didn't know it was German actually. Creepy. I'm not convinced because I don't like the aesthetic. Like right up front, I don't like the aesthetic. But maybe it would be worth it. $10 for all of them. Maybe I will watch a gameplay or something like this. This was the game I meant, though. This mechanic is interesting. For example, it has a timer. And it says, like, in the end, like you always said, it's just the two of you together. You have 10 seconds, but there is so much you want to do. Kiss her, hold her, take her, tell her, right? And then you get the game ends in 10 seconds, as it says. So it's like you want to hold her, for example, and tell her, you protect her, how you feel, blah blah blah, and the game pushes you to like click 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 very fast, right? So it's like it gives you that sense of urgency, like it is the end of the world, and you want to like fucking tell the one you love her how much you love her, right? I love you, or whatever. And this was interesting, and I thought maybe this could be something that I copy into my game, right? For maybe, or no, maybe not for the whole game, but in some parts when I want the game to feel quicker, right? Maybe this could be something that could be incorporated into it, right? For example. I would hate that since I can't read very fast. Yeah, true. As a general game mechanic, it's a bit annoying, but if it's with this purpose, it makes sense to me. Like Queers in Love at the End of the World or whatever. And it got a lot of good reviews, apparently. On Tumblr and all that, right? It is a very Tumblr game, you could say, right? What's WHIO? Oh, her name is W on this thing. Lol. Which IO? I get it now. Nicely done, I guess. But yeah, I guess playing reference games is interesting to find little things like that, right? Maybe that is not something for the whole game, but maybe for the last part of the game, I don't know, because these games start to get boring, right? You have to go to work, or at least the ones I played somehow. Sometimes it's like they get you addicted because of that, because it's a very cycle, and you want to know how it ends, right? So you have to do certain tasks, like go to work, blah 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 blah, and it keeps you kind of on your toes in a sense. But it starts to get boring. So maybe it's like once you start getting on like harder levels of the job or something like this, right? It's like, okay, the job actually gets difficult or something like this. I don't know. But yeah, maybe you are right. It depends on how the game is, I guess, set up or like presented, right? If it's presented as like a relaxed adventure of discovery, blah blah blah, maybe it's like, what the fuck? You said it was a relaxed adventure of discovery. But maybe if it's like something of like a person in a state of confusion, exploring the minds of a person in confusion, right? Maybe then it's like, okay, you are more tense and you're like, okay, this person is confused, so you don't know what's going to happen, blah, 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 right? I don't know. Maybe something like that. It depends. It could depend on something like this. Let's write that because I actually like that. Could be interesting or could be annoying. Honey. IMO depends on how it's presented also. What did I say? Relaxed, slow exploration. More frustration to be expected. Exploring the mind inside a confused and anxious mind. or Adventuros or some in some sense. Less frustration. I mean, maybe it depends, right? If you can't read fast, maybe every option would be bad. It's like even if it's an anxious mind or something like this, it's like even if it's an anxious mind, I can't read it. But I don't know. I saw on GDQ Lift Blower Man. This game blows. And that game just randomly switches genres midway again in the end. It was a fun watch. If you are bored later, it's like the Lift Blower Man. This game blows. I didn't watch the things you sent me, by the way. Okay, let's say here, Leaf Blower Man, this game blows. GDQ. I was going to ask my friend if he was going to IKEA or something. Because I want, related to this, I want a box, another box. Because mine, like one of the temporary boxes that I use to keep cheating, has broken. So it has become an annoyance and it keeps me from tidying more because I cannot move things around. And moving things around is an important part of the process. So one aspect of this that I need is a box. Need a box. Okay, I have not read your message because if I read it, I forget that you have sent it to me. If I keep the notification on, later I will look at this and see 4. Which are these 4? And I will be like, oh, fuck, that one. Okay, I think I'm comfortable with doing something like playing Driver San Francisco is okay if for some reason Twine game feels daunting. The thing is that I have been watching like a ton of YouTube videos about different stuff, obviously, and that's what I keep doing. I keep watching. So it's like my default becomes that instead of playing or instead of twine gaming. And for example, some watching is, I guess, inspirational for even the game. For example, the Monaco thing that I watched. See, that was a purposeful thing, and I got something out of it. I got that little tidbit about the yachts, and I got some impressions, etc. So maybe those kind of watchings should be allowed, or something like this, or are, I guess, lead to more inspiration. Let's put it that way, right? Those lead to more inspiration and to more. Those get the creative juices flowing, while some of other watching that I do, with cooking food, though the problem is that I like watching this a lot. Those lead to less inspiration because right now I don't feel empowered to try recipes and all this, right? So maybe I should kind of put that on the back burner and be like, okay, I'm not going to be inspired by this, or let's wait until I have more to watch this, or maybe I can watch them obviously, but prioritizing other types of watching, other types of thinking, that kind of thing. Maybe that is the move. Let me check. Is there a cheap AVE to Zaragoza? AVE, Zaragoza, Madrid, Zaragoza. Why are there no kind of flexible whatever? Let's say next week on Tuesday, for example. I mean, I'm not going to go there, but I'm curious. Let's see. The twine game thing is just text based. Is not. I thought you would be looking like. I thought you were looking at them to work around and the character and stuff. Did I misunderstand? It's not like it's text based, but do you know how in some text, like in some pure text games, you can be like. Let me check. Let me check if I can find a game like this. Let's see. itch.io, for example. Let's see. Okay, can I filter by tags or something like this? itch.io, popular tags, browse all tags, find tag twine. Let's see, this is in the category simulation. Let's see what this is. Okay, let's say free, obviously. Let's say Jesus Christ. No, this is just tail like this. Sci-fi RPG. Maybe this works. Run game. New game. Okay, this looks like it. Easy, for example. But see, there can be backgrounds. There is like this current form human. See, this is probably like one of those, I guess, transformation-related games. Let's remove this. It says like current form human. There is like hard counter. There is like this chip counter. There is this fucking counter, right? There are achievements. So yeah, this is like a text game, but you can kind of walk around or whatever, right? You can look at things. Okay, let me see. Yeah, you can choose some things that you are. You can choose what you are. But there are some that have like paper doll. Can I put like paper doll or something like this? Paper doll. Let's say here, character customization, for example. Could this one be like that? More like a visual novel. Some of them have more of a visual novel kind of playthrough. Some are very visual novel, even though the engine is like this. Some, when it's a visual novel, they change the engine and they use like RenPy or something like this, right? Wonder why they don't work. Maybe they are so old or something like this. I don't know, I see the flash over there. Feels strange. I don't know. Doesn't seem to work well, to be honest. I think it's something with the browser or something. Because I see the fucking... Steve Jackson Sorcery is also a story where you make your own decisions and influence the story, but not as text-based. It looks more a board game. Yeah, I guess you could say that some of them look like this, right? Some of them are like this. But with less graphical things, right? It's like these things are happening, but they are not displayed like this, right? They are displayed a bit more crudely, right? Usually just text or some complementary like images, static images. And some of them also have like a map that you can explore, but most of the things are like driven by text, right? So there is no actual map, visual map. On some of them there is, but the way to navigate it is more text-based. But like point and click text-based, right? It's not like you have to write go somewhere, right? A complete playthrough from RT game that I liked. An Irishman reads a game book.
You have walked the wilds of Kakabad, Shukar, and the spiteful backlands, all the way into Mampang. You have survived traps, thieves, serpents, fucking vengeful gods. So Jesus, I'm surprised we're still alive. And now it is here.
1 million.
The Crown of Kings.
See, the problem is that when I see this, you can see it right now, but when I see this, I immediately have to drag it onto a window and watch it.
This will completely change your opinion about bacon on burgers. I used to hate bacon on burgers. No matter how you put it on, it always messes with the structure. Until now. Let's break it down. With the X, you've got 4 whole bites with no bacon. In strips, you can sometimes end up with a big stringy bacon worm. The bacon quilt may look promising, but it takes a long time to cook and the ratio is totally off. And if you grind up the bacon and mix it with the patty, the flavor just disappears completely. But maybe you've got the same idea that I did. Why not make a full bacon patty? It may sound like a great idea, but once all the fat renders away, you're just left with a bunch of bacon bits with zero structure. But my buddy Willie at Adventures of a Fat Guy cracked the code by watching an old episode of Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. So I messed around with his recipe till I found the secret to the bacon smash patty. You have to boil the bacon for 5 to 7 minutes to render out some fat, then chop it up into little bits and press it down with a weight while it cooks so that it crisps together into a delicious smash patty. Try it out and trust me, this will completely change your opinion about bacon on burgers.
I used to hate bacon on burgers. I knew we were dealing with a psychopath.
The key to a perfect burger isn't the bun, patty, or cheese. It's bacon, onion, jam. The key to a perfect burger isn't the bun, patty, or cheese. It's bacon, onion, jam.
This looks so good.
It is said the crown was never forged, only found by... Why can't they...
I kind of hate how they always make it a perfect loop. Kind of annoying to some.
They just be named Tom or Sean or John? What, like... You call your kid fucking Chalana? Eyes follow you as you leave the hut and walk towards the great Shamutanti
The interface is pretty good.
wall. Some villagers are concerned because they start doing fucking laps of the
But yeah, this is like similar. These games are similar. It's basically the fucking thing is the main thing is the text, right? It's like you have to read it to understand the game.
compound.
It's not like GTA, where even if you don't actually read or if you skip cutscenes, you more or less know what's happening, right?
As you walk outside.
Well, even in GTA, you have to read a little.
The frontiers people of this tiny settlement are well aware of your mission. Let's just greet them. You turn to them and bow. Some smile and reply, but are too
Yeah, and these games that I'm talking about are also similar in this sense, right? So, for example, a man is walking on the path, blah, blah, blah. He holds out his hand. And sometimes there is like a static illustration of someone, whatever. And if these games are like porn related, many times the characters are based, like they will have the first name of some porn actress. So, for example, Mia Khalifa, Mia, right? And it's like your stepmom, Mia, greets you, all right? And they put like up some, because these actresses have like a fuck ton of pictures, right? And they put like a picture of her doing it like this, something like that, right?
afraid to approach. Others make gestures of protection. You are going beyond the wall, so they believe you to be cursed. A man is waiting on the path to the canto.
I like also like the good visual part. It's like these fucking, yeah, the details, how it's paper that goes together upwards. I like that as well.
Can you not just call it?
This part feels less, I don't know, it fits less in my mind, but I don't know, maybe because I haven't watched it since the beginning and I don't exactly
Like
know.
Smith Street? The Cantopani Gate. The final doorway between Analand and the wilds of Kakabad. You reckon?
I was also thinking of, not sure if making my own engine, but trying to find if there are engines already for what I want to do, because Paper Doll on Supercube seems annoying as fuck, right? So doing the fucking wardrobe part with a visual representation, there are games that do it, but in my opinion it seems like it's too difficult, because the art part is difficult. Also, having it looked good on mobile, I don't know, it's difficult.
Recognize the sergeant of the Sightmaster Warriors. He holds out his hand.
The game is
Okay, and he's this lovely character here. These are actual illustrations from the
I guess
books,
that's why
by
you-
the way. Like, I just want to stress that. Like, I'm a proper nerd for this game because of how they've adapted it. Like, this is in it. Okay, greetings, Sergeant. He touches his forehead with 2 fingers. You are almost.
Okay, yeah, this is where I differ with this approach, right? This approach is essentially an adaptation of a game book, right? So it will, like, it's already kind of, I don't know, I wonder how they do it, because it has here like stats, it has stamina, gold, rations. So I wonder how the book did it, right? Because if you are reading a book, it's like in the book, no matter what you do, I guess like the difference between the book and this, like this book game, well, the book, let's say the book, between the book and what I'm talking about is that what I'm talking about, you can do things like gather these points, and the point is that you can waste them, right? So it's like if you have, there is like this feminine score, right? If you don't get to a certain threshold by your actions, you don't get a certain outcome, but you can do things that get you up or down. And the point is that there can be actions that don't get you that, right? But here I wonder how they do it, right? It's like, is it hard coded on the story? How much gold, how many rations, etc. you have? Or is there some kind of loop that allows you to get rations, gold, stamina, those kind of things, right?
Almost ready, he says.
One of the things I did in this game was fall in water and waste all of my rations. That's interesting.
I have a gift for you.
Then like, have you read the book or just played the game?
From the king, 24 gold pieces. It is all we can spare this time. He holds out a pouch.
It's a bit loud, by the way.
We can either take it, be noble and take half, or just be way too noble, die in the wilds, and outright refuse it. We're going to let you guys have a bit of say in the decisions as we go here. Slot, thanks for another 500 bits. It's past 2 a.m., but I stayed up because I love this series. I'm so tired. You monster. Thank you very much. People are just saying, take it. Yeah, we're just going to be selfish. Give me your money. Oh, wait, no, you accept the gift graciously.
No, it is not hard-coded. You can fail parts. It's a real story you influence with your decisions. I only played the game after I watched the video because I liked it. Interesting. Then I wonder like how the book is.
Thank you. You should buy some supplies before you pass the wall, the sergeant says. And you must collect your spellbook if you wish magic to aid you. Finally, should you wish to practice your swordplay, I will go one last round with you. And he points with his staff towards the training ground. Now, I believe, because I played a little bit of this before, I believe to collect your spellbook, you can actually just leave this here. One of the huts sets slightly back from the others is decorated with glyphs and strange symbols. A terrible smell emanates from its doorway. This is the hut of the chief mage. He's been preparing your spellbook for days, reading star charts to work out which spells will be available to you in the different locations in the hills and beyond. Yeah, so do without the book is actually an option. And if you say do without the book, you actually don't have magic the entire game, and it's a kind of sad experience, I'm not gonna lie. It's just interesting that it actually lets you do that, though. Like, even in the original books, you can just choose to play a warrior instead of a sorcerer if you're just lazy and you don't feel like using magic. It's a much harder time if you do it, but like it's an option. We're gonna get it because it's more interesting. The books are for nerds. Reading is for chumps. Guys, you're not gonna be able to cast magic if we don't pick this up. Okay, Hagrid's just gonna show up.
And yeah, hello Quadro. I am watching a video about a game, let's say.
At our house and go home.
Because I want to get inspiration for a game.
And Harry's gonna live on like the lighthouse island for the rest of his life. You lift the flap and go inside. The mage looks up at you with haggard, sleepless eyes and presses the book into your hands. Do you understand how to use this, he asks. We'll just say tell me so you guys know. Tell me. Each spell is crafted through the alignment of 3 stars, he begins. The spell Zap, for example, is made by aligning Zarathustra, Aungus, and Panini. But that's not important. What matters is what the spell is called and what it does. Zap will give you control over lightning. Hot will create a fireball. Foff will create a force field around you. Shall I continue? I think we're good. I've heard enough. He scratches absently at his ear. Remember, some spells will cost you effort to use, but the ones that don't will not work without a focus, an item of some kind. You will need to read the book to know what. The research magic using the spellbook button on the map. We now have a spellbook icon here. This volume contains 48 spells that the Highcraft has discovered and passed down from generation to generation of sorcerers in the earliest days of the Eastern world. Each spell is formed of 3 letters, and each spell will take energy to cast. Furthermore, some spells will fail.
Steve Jackson's sorcery. Book download PDF. Let's say PDF. Skill, stamina, and luck. Okay, so there is something like dices. Okay, that's interesting. So the book has this kind of fucking... Because these are the adventure sheets. You have a pouch with your waist containing 20 gold pieces. Your quest has begun. Turn to 178. What the hell? Okay, so it's 178 is where the fucking book begins. (178). The path winds through fields of wild scrubland. The countryside is deserted, blah 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 blah. Tell him you are a traitor. Oof, so confusing. One is one, I guess. Ah, look, this was the image. (33). You tell him you are traveling. If you accept his offer, pay him the money. If you refuse, turn 81. Okay, for example, in this passage, what happens if you win and what happens if you lose? Does it say somewhere? Roll one die. If you are playing as a warrior, add 6. If you are playing as a wizard, add only 4. Roll both die, blah 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 blah. For reasons that will be explained below, skill change constantly during an adventure. You must keep an accurate record of this course. In the small boxes, but never drop out your initial scores. Although you may be awarded, these totals may never exceed your initial scores, except on very rare occasions, where you will be instructed on a particular page. Your skill score reflects your stamina, reflects your constitution, your luck. How naturally lucky of a person you are. Battles. Roll the 2 dice once for the creature. Add its skill. No. Roll the 2 dice and add the total. The sequence continues until the stamina is 0. Death. Bro, this is so complex. You may not refer to the spellbook once you have started your adventure. What the fuck? What the fuck? What does it start over again? Oh. (12). Okay, so confusing. the game is easier to understand. It gets you a bit better without having to flip pages back and forth. Yeah, for sure.
About these particular item or focus. Now, in the game books, Steve Jackson has a go at you if you try to consult the spellbook mid-adventure. It actually says and stresses in the game books that you cannot afford to bring your spellbook with you, and so you have to actually memorize all these spells before you begin your adventure. Obviously, everyone cheated because that's what you do in game books. Like, you keep your finger on the page where you just worry in case something goes wrong. But here they make it a bit nicer for us, and we actually get to take the spellbook for us. With us. Zap, Foff, Law, Dumb, Hot, Wall. And these all cost stamina to cast. These 6 spells are kind of like the main ones that you use, kind of like the Jack of all trade spells. Like if you want to brute force a problem, you kind of cast one of these. If you want to be a bit more specific, you have these ones here, such as Big, Walk, Dop, Raz. They all cost stamina. These ones cost less stamina because they're more specific. Megan, thanks for 200 bits. I love your streams. I think you're amazing. Thank you very much. Crafted bits, thanks for 100 as well. Could you imagine looking at the Chief Mage's face after spending sleepless nights working on a spellbook, only to find out that the hero left because books are for nerds? It would be quite disheartening, I imagine. It's like a professor you've been working with on your thesis for months and you just abandon him like a week before the deadline, and you're just joining the sports team or something. But yeah, we have a lot of spells here. Fog, Mug, Nif, Sap, Gak, God. I believe this is like a funky one at the end, the Z spell. You never really get an opportunity to cast this one. But we live in hope.
Does this actually like flip through pages, or the interface is always like this?
Basically what Mom say. Okay, let's go to the training ground. Eat your veggies. Utter in despair. But it's just a practice match, guys. We're not going to actually die. Okay. Let's try finish up. We're not having much luck. Okay, just defend. Yeah, let's just build up our stamina and do a big boy swing. One more time to defend. He's just whacking us with his mace, and we got him. He's dead. Leaping into action, you sweep your sword across his body with powerful force. It is enough to finish him. The Sightmaster throws down his staff. You have me, he declares with a grin. 5 stamina lost, rough going. Yeah, when you finish a fight too, it does give you the option to try again and reset your stamina. So if you're really sad about how you've done, that is an option you have. I think here he heals you. Sergeant is gasping for breath. He bounds to you once more. Not bad, he declares, but you need to cover yourself more. The beasts of the kingdom will take you apart. Don't worry, I'll keep smacking them. I'll pit them faster. As he talks, a nearby healer hurries over with a salve, and your health and the sergeant is quickly restored. Twitch chat demands blood. Guys, we haven't even left, like, our home. Like, there's gonna be time for blood. Like, look at this huge world ahead of us. We haven't even left base camp yet.
Looks cool.
Can't even pray to my god just yet, because
it's well made.
We haven't really left. And we get to keep store all our treasure here too, so we can keep track of it. Okay, let's take our time. You reach the foot of the mighty gate. It is sealed. Guess we better go home. The sergeant places one hand on the wood. The gate has been locked for some time to deter raiders, he tells you. But you will have no difficulty. The stars in this place allow the dots.
I wonder why it's not letting me play these twine games though. Oh, what the fuck? Now it works. These fucking pronouns. Yeah, some games have like interfaces like this, but these don't only work on like text, right? They will say, oh, a long blah 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 person blah 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 blah, right? Okay, this is all text. Oh, this is the demo. Lol. See, this is Sugar Cube. I can tell because this interface is very Sugar Cube. Like. Okay, this one is very text. some of them are less text, or they have like more pictures, right? I thought this would have more pictures because of whatever. Body violence, mention of cannibalism. That's how you want the game to look later. More or less. The previous one, you mean? Say this one is more like it uses the things that you say as it says you click light and then it flashes light and it flashes it slowly, right? So even if it's not like, this is different from just reading a book, right? For example, the other text ones would be basically like reading a book, and you could make them in book form and it wouldn't change a lot. But in these ones, it's difficult because the way it presents it. Yeah, some things you can see the. I like this game. This game does it well. It explains things well. But yeah, I wonder if it's going to put more. Okay, interesting. I guess I'm not that worried of how I want it to look, as in look pretty, but I want it. I don't know. It's difficult to explain. It's like, even if it looks bad, if the text is like, if it looks bad, aka it's using like the default interface, or yeah, it aesthetically is not that pleasing. If, for example, there are images to support what the text is saying, and the images come right after you use the text, right? It's like the story kind of gets told in a way, in a more engaging way. So in the sense, I'm more worried about that part than on how I want it to look, let's say. I wanted to find something though. It's IO. Okay, I can actually look at something like Twine tools. Twine sugar cube. Examples, something like this. Yeah, this is the default interface, by the way. This is how it looks by default. Templates, that's interesting. I promise I am working on the game. Lol. Lol, this is interesting. So for you, you want to prioritize the story, and it's fine if it looks like your non-CSS website, more or less, yeah. I don't mind if it looks like, but also like it has to play nice, right? It has to, and for me to play nice also means to get the story across nice. So for that, sometimes like images help. There was something with like, I'm pretty sure it was here. No. No, it was that website. No, I can't see how it looks now. But it was this guy, I remember. No. Ah, this one. Okay, he just changed his website. That's dope. It was this guy. He has, for example, audio and video image display. Paper doll images. This. Right? This is what I meant. And this is used in a lot of games like this. You can see how it's probably like a porn, like it comes from porn games and this kind of thing, right? But this, like there are many games like this where, for example, this thing is on this bar, right? So you always see it. It's like depending on what you do, the person changes or whatever, right? It's like you go to to a party. It's like you cannot go to the party if you are not wearing a suit. So you click wear suit. Well, you click wardrobe, suit, wear suit, and then the character appears with a suit. The problem is that all of these are kind of resources that you have to like do yourself, right? This one are Envato, so I guess he just downloaded from somewhere. Yeah, Envato. It seems like he got it like for free or somewhere. Well, not for free, but yeah. Yeah, for free. They are like test files for whatever. So maybe there are like sets of paper doll images or whatever. Paper doll images, Envato. I don't know. But yeah, they are like whatever. Maybe I'm just way too used to this graphic and stuff, but my first thought was, damn, that looks like garbage. Yeah, I mean, if it's like default, like that was some default as a thing, right? But it communicate like if it looks like garbage, but it communicates what I wanted to communicate, right? It works, right? And there are some like this that are fucking insane. Let's see. Twine, sugar cube, paper doll. This was insane. Look. And look at the stats. Like, these are obviously for sex games, right? Pleasure, stamina, HP. See, and if you put the feminine lower, it changes the character, right? And the strength up department changes the looks. This is like some fucking next level shit, right? Because, for example, there is no way to do that easily with like fucking static images. This is like some next level shit. If one is there an HP bar, it's BDSM. I mean, some of them are like half RPG, half whatever, right? So it's like there is like winning those kind of scenarios, and some of them are like strange, right? And they have like RAPE type stuff, right? So it's like, I don't know. By the way, I don't like those, but yeah, I know that they exist. And yeah, there are also clothes. If I recall correctly, you could do clothes or something like this. Ah, yeah, you can change penis size and all this, but I'm not sure if it will show. Let's see. Okay, it doesn't show it. I'm not sure why. If I recall correctly, there was like oh shit. See? Okay, finally. Some clothes on the woman. Friend of mine recommended me an 8 plus game. I thought the sex scenes were fine, but I was really bored from the actual gameplay. It wasn't bad, it was just not for me. Yeah. Yeah, I found the fucking clothing thing, and yeah, there is like armor. I don't know. There is a way, I guess, to. Yeah, there are a lot of functionality. I guess this is a development side. You want some armors with those heals with the game. Yeah, this is not like a game. This is like a character creation game. And the fucking. Okay. I guess randomizing characters now just changes the character itself. This is this is what the feminization slider does. This is what the pregnancy slider does. Why it makes the boobs like that? So funny. This is what the sanity slider does. This is what the skin does. Skin hue, skin lightness, saturation, stamina, shoe height. Shoe height is capped at 3 apparently. Height. Arousal, not sure what does that entail. Damn, those are some hips. Export to PNG. Lol. This is funny. Maybe just getting this to work would be fucking like an accomplishment, to be honest. To make her taller, it basically just stretches the model. Stretches the model, yeah, true. I guess that is kind of what tall people are, right? It doesn't fully stretch it, right? As you can see, the head remains more or less not stretched, right? So it more or less stretches it in, I guess, in a... It's not badly done, I would say. Okay, lol. Funny that... Yeah, that when you put heels on, the height actually increases. That's actually a good detail. Tattoos. Add tattoo. Add. I can't see it. I like how the model goes over the PL bar. And on the right, it actually cuts off the faces you go off screen. Yeah. But yeah, what I meant was to say that there are games that, well, I haven't seen this one actually used in game, but there are like some like this, right? There are games that show what's happening in the game like this, right? And when it's a transformation game, it makes sense to show it so you can see what's happening, I guess, right? And when they are like sex-related games, also, I guess it has like some kind of allure or something to see it. That was basically why I'm showing this, to be honest. So yeah, I'm going to end the stream now. Basically, conclusions. Game, blah, blah, blah. Playing this, it's okay. Tidying up my room, I need a box. Throwing the fucking old electronics and picking up the dry cleaning maybe tomorrow if I wake up early. Livestream ideas, I didn't collect any, but I have some here on the right. That some maybe work, some not. So yeah, see ya. Have a good day. And hope work tomorrow is not too hard. Bye bye.